Hello, new moderator. This is Laura here. I just wanted to talk you through what it's like to be a moderator, how it works, give you the benefit of my experience. So it's kind of divided into two parts. The first is about grabbing the questions from the chat, putting them into the shared Google Doc. And then the second one is about actually moderating the chat. So first things first, I'll go through the questions. As Tim, I just have him paused now, but as Tim is speaking, you will essentially be keeping an eye on the chat, grabbing any questions, and you literally just copy and paste them. So in another tab, you should have the Q&A doc open. And then, okay, so just for example, let me just grab this. So I would copy that, come in here, and then paste it. And then I just kind of format it. I usually highlight and bold the name just so that it's easier for Tim to read. So in terms of questions, we divide them up into super chats, new members, member questions, and then on-topic questions. The reason super chats, new members, and member questions are at the top is just so that we can give priority to people who are supporting the video creators channel. So we like to get to those ones first if we can. And then after that, it's just generally on topic questions. So only pull questions that are on whatever topic the live stream is about. Generally, it's easier if you put them according to priority level. So if you've got 3 questions and one of them is more relevant, you would just paste that in on top. So let me just paste the exact same question. Sometimes if the stream is really, really busy, that can be almost impossible. But just as you're grabbing the questions and pasting them in, if one is very much on topic, try and put those near the top. Also consider how useful it is to the audience. Some people will ask questions that will apply to a lot of creators, and some people are asking questions that may still be on topic but are more towards their niche or their particular channel, and those ones should go a little bit further to the bottom. So again, we try and prioritize the questions that will have the most appeal to people or that will apply to the most people. So that's basically it there. Super chats will come in highlighted, so you'll be able to see them. Those will stand out. So like this one here, that's Tom. Then in terms of members, you'll be able to see them because they'll have this icon here. So there will be like a little camera icon, and then it will say how long they've been a member. So this one is 1 month, so you'll see a little 1+, and then other ones will have new inside them, and that's how you'll be able to get this information. You'll know exactly where to put it. So that's basically it for the question grabbing. I will say that when the chat is fully in action, it can be hard because it jumps around a lot. So if you just try, and normally what I do is, instead of keeping it down here at the bottom where it will just keep jumping as people add new things, I'll just scroll up a little bit. So yeah, that's it. You'll get it. With the time, it will become much easier. But yeah, okay, so now let's talk about actually moderating the chat. So again, sometimes the chat moves very, very quickly. So I kind of try and scroll up rather than being right down at the bottom, because the chat will just continue to jump on you and then it becomes impossible to keep track of everything. So beside everyone's comments, you will see these 3 little dots. You click on them and that will bring up your options, your moderating options. So essentially on Video Creators, we have a kind of a 3 strikes policy. So the first strike would be, comments that may be considered a little bit rude or immature, or are maybe just a little bit ambiguous, or if somebody is, looking to promote their own channel, just those kind of minor inconvenient comments, shall we say. So for those people, generally I will just reply to them and say, we don't do that here, or try to keep your comments on topic, or, things like that. Just a general kind of heads up to them. If they then continue with that behavior, I put them in timeout. I don't know why that's not coming up as an option here. It's possibly because the live stream is over now. But one of the options here will be to put user in timeout. So that will put them in timeout for 5 minutes. They won't be able to comment on the live stream. That will usually solve the problem. Most people at that stage, when they see that they can no longer comment, they will just leave the stream if they are just there to cause trouble or whatever. And then the third strike, so if they come back from that and they are still clogging up the chat, if they're being, abusive or anything like that, then I simply removed them completely. And that removes them entirely from Tim's channel, so it's not just from live streams. They won't be able to comment on his channel. They'll still be able to view his videos and stuff, but they'll basically be banned from commenting on his channel. So that is the 3 strikes policy. It is possible to skip the first strike and just go straight to a second or a third. So sometimes I will go straight to a second, put someone in timeout if they are completely clogging up the feed. I did it earlier up here. I don't know if I can find it, but somebody was basically just posting the same message over and over and over again. Somewhere around here, I think. So yeah, they continually posted the same thing, and I put that person in timeout because it was clogging up the feed. You can also skip straight to a third strike if their comment is, very egregious, if it's incredibly defamatory, if it includes any hate speech, any bullying. You will know yourself. Use your own judgment. I think I've only ever removed people from the channel, I think 2 or 3 times in the year that I've been doing this. So it's not one that you should come across that often, but definitely use the option if you needed to, if somebody is completely out of line. So I think that's mainly it. Those are the main points to cover. Always when you're interacting with people, and I do try and interact and reply to people, if they have a question that I can, quickly answer for them in the chat. Maybe it's a little bit off topic, so I can't grab it for Tim, but I know the answer, or I can, link them to another video that Tim has done. I will just hop in and just comment. That can be tricky in the beginning when you're first getting used to it, because there are a lot of things to pay attention to. There's Tim's video, there's the live chat, there's the Google Doc, so don't worry about it in the beginning. But every now and again you'll be able to spot something that you can reply to, or if somebody becomes a channel member, or somebody says something nice, has good feedback for video creators or something like that, I like to hop in and just give them a little thank you. A tip that I have for you, something that I have learned in the year that I've been doing this, is, as I said, the chat tends to jump quite a bit. So I normally go just a little bit above where I don't stick around the bottom, because that will just continue to jump. So like I said, I scroll back up a little bit. But what I do as I'm going down is every now and again I will just highlight a comment. And that way, if the chat does suddenly jump, because it does happen, I will just be able to, so let's say it just jumped right back down, I will be able to scroll back up and be able to find my place again, and then I can just continue on, and then I'll get down another little bit and I'll just highlight a random comment there, so that if it does jump, I know exactly where to skip back up to. That's my little hack for you. So I hope you find that one helpful. If you do put someone in timeout, or you hide their comment or something, and it was a mistake because you meant to click on one person, you accidentally clicked on another. Sometimes it does happen, because as I said, sometimes the chat does jump. You can just go back to the message. So let's say this person, if I accidentally removed them or put them in timeout or something, I would just go back in. You will see, because it doesn't actually completely delete everything, it will say, so let me see if I can find one. So this message was deleted. So I can view that message, because that was deleted by another moderator. I can view that if I'd like. And then if I click here, again, I don't have all the options because the live stream is over now, but you should have the option then to reinstate it, or to take the user out of timeout, or whatever. But generally, if you stay above the bottom of the chat, you should be okay. It will still jump occasionally, but it won't jump as much as if you were right down at the bottom. Sometimes, one final thing then is sometimes things will automatically be held for review because they contain certain words. Anything like, sub for sub, that kind of thing will automatically, like that's a YouTube thing. So what will happen is I don't have any to show you right now, but a message will pop up. It will be grayed out, and underneath it will be two buttons. One will say approve, I think, and the other will say delete, or words to those effects. So depending, because sometimes people aren't necessarily asking for subscribers, which would kind of be an automatic delete thing, but they may be just talking about subscribers. They may have a question about subscriber count or something, and it is a genuine comment, in which case you can approve it. Otherwise, you can just delete it. So that's just another thing that sometimes pops up. There should be like a list of other guidelines that have come with this screen capture, but generally, the general rules are just to be kind and respectful and courteous to people, even if they are not necessarily respectful in return. But we are always respectful to people. And that's basically it. Have fun with it. The first live stream you do will probably be chaotic. The first one I did was incredibly stressful because you're trying to keep track of so many things. You're listening to what Tim is saying, you're following the live stream, you're doing the Google Docs. Try and not... You'll still have to kind of keep up with what Tim's saying, but try and kind of have him as more background noise, if that makes sense. So you're still following along with where he is in the conversation, but you're not like listening intently to it, because that can be very distracting. If you are really struggling to keep up with that, sometimes what I do is I will pause the stream, like I've done here. I will give myself time to catch up on a few. And then I will play the stream again at like 1.5 speed or double speed, just so that I can catch up on it then. So if you're really, really struggling and the chat has moved on significantly, that's something you can do. But yes, my big tip is highlighting things so that when you're scrolling down, if the chat does jump, you'll be able to find your place again. I really hope that was helpful. Best of luck with it. I will be popping in and out of various live streams, I'm sure, so there'll probably always be someone else in the stream who'll be there to help you out. But enjoy it. Like I said, if the first one is crazy chaotic and hectic, don't worry, it does get much easier thereafter. They do get easier, I promise. So enjoy and the best of luck, and I'll probably see you in a live stream soon. Bye.